Hello, with me today I have Devin from the VR community. Could you talk a bit about yourself?
No. Yeah, I'm Devin, also known as Magic1313 or Pokemontrainer1313. I have a couple different tags. I am ranked #1 in the world in O-Shape, a VR rhythm game. I love rhythm games in general, and video games. I've been playing them pretty much all my life.
So, could you talk a little bit about motion sickness in VR? It's making sounds when I'm doing this. Why am I doing that while talking? Could you talk a little bit about motion sickness in VR?
Yeah, of course. Not without a prompt, though.
Oh! Could you tell us a little bit about motion sickness in VR?
Yeah, of course. So motion sickness is probably one of the biggest problems with VR for a lot of new people. It's essentially when your inner ear sends different signals to your brain that, compared to what your eyes are receiving, it can quickly confuse your brain, and you can soon feel sick. Motion sickness is common in other places like cars, ships. Essentially, when you're sitting still, but everything else around you is moving, and you feel like you should be doing something. So there have been many different mechanics implemented to try and improve this and make it better. You have a little teleportation, like I can just teleport between two chairs. Or you have a kind of like snap rotation so that it's not like spinning you in a circle. It just kind of like pivots you in specific angles. And a couple others that need a smooth movement, they tend to fade in around your eyes to try and prevent you from seeing too much movement in your peripheral vision. This isn't necessarily an issue with every game. Some games don't require a lot of space, and therefore you can just move around by actually moving. But a common problem is motion sickness because a lot of games require a larger environment than a 6 foot by 6 foot or 2 meter square area in a small apartment or whatever.
Could you talk a little bit about what VR legs is?
So VR legs is the terminology that the VR community has used when your brain has learned to adapt and get used to it. People, once you're around or in VR enough, you kind of get used to it. And so it's like sea legs. When you're on a ship, you start to gain your balance, and it doesn't matter how much the ship is swaying, you can stand your ground and not fall over. A wave hits and you just keep going. And so that's what VR is. VR legs is. If you are playing a game and it's super intense and dramatic and stuff is going on all around you and stuff, your brain has gotten used to it and has just kind of tricked itself into believing that, okay, you are in this environment and it's completely normal, even if it's not actually happening.
Are there people who are more prone to VR sickness?
Yeah, so there are different groups. Most of the answers are fairly reasonable. The main uncommon one is that females tend to be just a little bit more common to be prone to VR motion sickness. Aside from that, younger people as well, it kind of just gets worse as you get older. You can generally assume that one as well. It also depends on your headset. If you're just like sticking a phone into a little pair of goggles and putting that on your head, that's probably going to be pretty bad versus if you have a $500-600 headset. And then the locomotion scheme of the game as well matters. If you're just sitting here talking, this isn't causing any motion sickness. I'm sitting on a couch. But if we're playing a game that has some more smooth locomotion, so you're actively walking through an area using a joystick, that can cause a little bit more. Generally, the worst is piloting different vehicles. So if you're like driving, because that's the least amount of effort on your end with the most amount of like action going on around you.
Okay, thank you.